For today's lesson, we're going to talk about what is a remainder, what is its job, what is its function. And I've got it broken down into 3 different points. First is it's the leftovers. And this is the most simple way. We all know this part about a remainder, that if we're looking to split 16 into 3 equal groups, we can get 5 equal groups of 3, which equals 15. Which isn't 16, but it's as close as we can get without going over. So what we get when we do our subtraction is we get a leftover of 1, which is our remainder. So literally remainders are just leftovers, and they're even synonyms. Leftovers, remainders, whatever's left, that's its first function. But the second way I want you to think about a remainder is it's not enough for another whole group. So when we take those 5 groups of 3 and we get to 15, what this 1 actually means is if we had another 2 in here, if this had been an 18 instead of just a 16, we would be able to get 6 groups of 5. And I know that sounds simple, but it's really thinking about this backwards. Here we're talking about leftovers. Here we're talking about what would we need to make it all the way to the next group. So anytime we have leftovers, that means we're short of having another number up here, because had this number been 18 instead of 16, we could get 6 groups of 3 evenly with no leftovers. So when we talk about remainders, first thing we think of is the leftovers. It's just the stuff that's extra that we don't have any place to put. Then we need to think about, okay, well, what would it take to get something else to put, to get another group there? And the third way to think about a remainder is it's totally just a fraction. And I know fractions are very intimidating at first before we kind of practice them and learn that they're actually really, really easy to work with. In a fraction, we have a group that we're dividing into, and we have part of a group. Well, that's really all we have with a remainder. This answer, this quotient here, is 5 1/3, because we have 5 whole groups of 3 with 1 piece out of 3 left over. And that's all a fraction is. It's pieces out of a whole. Pieces are in the numerator, wholes are in the denominator. So 5 groups of 3 with 1 part out of 3 left over. These all are very close to the same thing. However, it's important that when we talk remainder that we think about all of the things that it actually means and all of the pieces that it could be. Because when we talk leftovers, if this was, we have 15 people at a party and 3 pizzas, we're talking about how much people get to eat, or how much pizza people get to eat. If this is dividing up pieces of things, these remainders aren't just leftovers. They're either people or things or parts of things left over. So when we're talking about math in real life, remainders are very, very important.